Cursor too?
Yeah, so big release from Cursor, and some interesting things that have happened with it. First and foremost, obviously the IDE. Let me share my screen and we can all go through it together. For me, some real progressions into converting those traditional developers into more vibe coders. So basically what you're seeing on the screen right now is this all new agent mode, which you can swap just at the top left here. I think this UI could probably be a bit nicer, but the agent mode here is just basically removing the code from the experience, which oftentimes a lot of people do. They're just vibing out basically. On top of that, they've introduced their own model, the Composer One model, which I've heard mixed benchmarks about. It's leveraging an open source or open weight model, potentially GLM 4.6, but they've released their own model, which performs very, very well. It's a very fast, snappy model. It's not your big thinking model, it's your fast, snappy model. So that's really cool. You can do split testing, so you can test 3 models at the same time and then pick the best result, which is pretty crazy.
You can do more, by the way. Like 6 yesterday.
Yeah.
And how does that work when you pick like 6 different models? Do they do the same thing and pick the best, or do they do different pieces of?
You send the prompt, and you'll get a split view of 3 different models, or however many models you chose, and you just read the results, or you read the thing, the result, and you just choose the one you think is the best, and you get a little performance review of like how fast it was and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. So on top of that as well, you've got work tree, which is, again, something you can probably do. You can ask your AI to create a new work tree, but this is a way of creating sort of branches on your local machine and running different, like you could have a branch for one feature, work tree, another work tree for one feature, another work tree for another feature, and be working on them simultaneously with different agents. So, it's classic when you're locked up and you're working in, you're just working in on a feature and you're letting your AI go, and it's like, well, what am I going to do? Well, you just spin up another work tree and begin working on that one. So this is just a nice sort of user interface. It's fairly abstracted from you what's actually going on. You just work away, and then you create a new agent and then create a new work tree or whatever. But it's just this whole experience here. Like I've just, I was doing this earlier. I just changed the background. Actually, my video's gone out now, so I was running this on a local LLM and getting it to change the background color or whatever. So that was pretty cool. The other one which we were playing around with earlier is you've got the browser. Which you can open up which I guess you're probably better off showing, because I can't show what this app is, but you've got an in-app browser, which behind the scenes, or the technology that I think is using, is the Chrome MCP, because it can open up in a Chrome browser, or it can be within the window space in the middle here, and you can then interact with it or ask about it or query about it, again, under the hood using the MCP. And this can really speed up especially design workflows, but also development workflows, because you can query the console and what's happening and various things like that, just to make that development more seamless experience. So really, really impressive release from Cursor here. Some really interesting advancements they've made. The only thing to say really is about Windsurf also released their new model, which is the SWE 1.5 model, again using an open weights model. Speculated that it's GLM 4.6. I use Kilo Code. They actually sunsetted their model. They're now encouraging you to use Grok 4 Fast. It's a weird time for Kilo Code to be sunsetting their model, while simultaneously Cursor and Windsurf both launching their own model. So yeah, it's pretty cool. But you've been playing around with it too, haven't you? You've been knocking some stuff out. So do you want to take us through that?
This is the new UI that I really like, or like the new way of using Cursor, where I have my cursor window here. This is the agent view that I have like very tiny and small on the side of the screen. And then I have this browser instance that is opened and controlled by Cursor. So this is just Chrome, but Cursor can see it. It can read the console log, so I don't have to copy paste things from the console log to Cursor. It can just basically even, I believe, click in and see the elements and things like that. I really like this view, but I don't only use it from that view. I also like the editor view with the browser inside. So as you see here, we have this browser as a tab, just like you have the files, you have also this browser window. And here I can, just do browser stuff, or I can like select elements. In this case, we just have a canvas, not much to select, but we can also toggle the DevTools from Chrome. And here we can see the console, and I just added some console log. I asked Cursor to do it, and that is pretty cool, right? And I'm trying to, I haven't found a lot of success, and this is where it gets interesting about the models and about the multi-agent and multi-model stuff. I've been trying since yesterday. I have an issue with this project that I can't fix. I couldn't fix it before with Cursor 1, and I haven't been able to fix it with Cursor 2 either. So I don't know. The UI is cool. The new way of working is really cool. I'm really like finding a lot of fun, and I'm learning a lot by just doing things in this way. And it's just more cohesive. It's all, together, especially not on this small window that I have. I put what you see on my screen, I put it on a bigger screen on a 32-inch display, and then it's just much nicer experience. What is interesting to me, what like the feeling that I get is this enablement, that I can do stuff, that I can create stuff that most people can't or think they can't. They could if they just, start prompting. I know it's not the highest quality or whatever, but similarly, like in 2019, I remember when I started using Webflow, I could just start and create things. And yes, the code was not like the cleanest, but who cares? I could get the point across. I could start building and get on the train of building for the web and get excited. That's my point. The takeaway like here is the excitement. And I'm getting this excitement right now from Cursor. And I think that is what they are doing absolutely right. These people understand the product, and they understand even the UI. It's just great that you can have the developer experience and the more agentic experience. So they are allowing, this is what pros want. They want to have the ability, the option to completely control their windows and do whatever they want. And maybe for people who don't want to go all that deep in the code, they can just embrace the vibes and just go to the agent mode and just chat and not even look at anything. By the way, even in the agent mode, you can still open the browser. So you could have a situation where you have only browser and agent, and the agent does everything. You see it in the browser, and you don't have to touch code. You could do that. So I'm very excited about this, and I will get back to more of what I'm doing, trying to fix this. This is more complex than most people would think, like with the waves and with the 3D and with the interactions. It's not the simplest interaction out there. So
just a shout out to Neptune, he's been in the comments section being like, oh, is this live? Yeah, of course it's live, mate. Of course it's live. And saying that, let's jump into the comments that we've been getting on some of our other videos, because I think that's a nice way for us to see what you guys are saying, but also just sort of articulate some of the thoughts I've been having. This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.